Stream is live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to So Many Levels. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
Yay! Sadly, we are down yet another player tonight. Our lovely Viv we knew was going to be out, but it looks like her husband Chooch is caring for her tonight like a loving husband, which is wonderful, except that it means he's not playing Dungeons and Dragons with us tonight. So, alas, poor Archie, he will be a puppet tonight. But we're gonna keep playing. So, just to begin with, I'm Christiana Ellis. I am the Dungeon Master, and our players tonight we have Mark Kilfoyle as Alaric, the Dwarf Fighter.
Apparently, I'm demonic tonight. I don't know what's going on with the color at night, just the way it goes. But hello.
We also have Starla Hutchton as Nirakina Ethu, the Elven Cleric.
Greetings and citations.
Yes. Also with the party is Autarky, the Tiefling Paladin, who would normally be played by Chooch Schubert. Amethyst, the Human Druid, normally played by Viv, was spirited away by an Archfey last episode. But we'll talk a little bit more about the recap in just a moment. Right now, I am playing some ambiance from tabletopaudio.com, and the track is called Cavern of Lost Souls.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit. Whoops. Just double checking to make sure my stream is working properly, because it was up for a second and then gave me an error message. Is that working? There it is. Okay, good. Now, what happened last time? Let me begin before getting into that with a broader answer to that, which is I am working on a story so far summary that will give the high-level discussion of the campaign to date. It will probably be a episode 1 through 52 sort of summary, that sort of thing. I'm working on that, but believe it or not, it's a lot of material to cover.
No.
Yeah. I'm making progress, though. I've got up through the end of the Lake Elamon arc pretty covered, I think. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
We've done nothing important since then, right? It's kind of
So, working on that. So that hopefully I'll be able to get that up soon. But also, I think I'm I'm just thinking about this show, generally speaking, and am I the only one who is not necessarily afraid to jump into the middle of something like this? I mean, maybe it's a habit from comic books where sometimes you just have to accept that you don't know all 50 years of history of a certain character.
Yeah,
I'm a splurger. No, that's not the term. What's the term? I watch
Binger?
everything. Binger, thank you. I watch it all. I did Critical Role in 4 weeks. I watched the entirety of the first 100 and something episodes.
Wow. When did you sleep?
I don't think I slept nearly as much, and I think I was still seeing it in my sleep.
But certainly, going through that backlog is something I would absolutely encourage people to do. But it's also the sort of thing where I feel like if you just started with the latest episode, sure, there might be pieces you might not understand, but I think you could follow what's going on for the most part.
As someone who is about to start streaming his home game, which has been running for 2 years, and we're just going to pick up in the middle of everything, yeah, I kind of hope that people can do that.
Well, even Critical Role started campaign with all the characters already at level 8 and a whole history together.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was the reason that because I don't even think I made it through the first episode, and I was maybe
that's
I
true
made
too.
listen to
Is
the whole
that
episode.
it's certainly not what they decided to do for the second campaign. But anyway, that's why I'm working on a story so far that will post eventually. I'll probably have the text up where people can just read it, and then I'll also have a video and audio version, just like regular episodes. But in the meantime, let's talk about What happened last week in episode 54? Well, for one, as you were returning from town, Amethyst got yoinked away by the Lord of the Hunt, an archfey. It seemed voluntary. She made mention of an offer that she wanted to know more about. So you guys didn't really get much choice in the matter, and she was gone, so what else are you going to do? But what does also happen is that you are able to get your completed non-detection charms made from the flail snail shell, which allows you to be protected from the divination magic and the tracking of the archfey that pursue you and anyone else who might be trying to, for example, scry your location. With these charms, you left on your mission to explore what was going on with the stone giants. Why have they stopped showing up? Can you try to deliver this magic item that this enchanter named Carrot made? Are you going to be able to deliver it and get the money and therefore exchange that for a discount on the magic items you want? Maybe we'll find out. But you're the son of this enchanter, a dragonborn, gold dragonborn named Doke, is accompanying you as your guide and translator. And you made your way to the home of the stone giants. They make their home on an enormous plateau and cave, and you arrived to find it apparently abandoned for several weeks now, and the only living giant that you encounter has strange deformities, including a hunched back, a misshapen arm, and strange mottled skin that looks kind of unhealthy. And she refuses to engage with you, calls you bad dreams, and basically runs away from you. You continue to explore this city and find many indications that something very serious has happened. You don't see any other indication of the giants, but you also see centuries-old fountain that has been ruined. You see rubble that has collapsed and crushed buildings and not been cleared away. You found the beacon that had previously lit the interior of the cave, now broken. You also got attacked by some rust monsters that ate some holes in the armor of both Nira and Archie. And you were attacked by a spider thing in the beacon tower that really wanted to eat some eyeballs.
So gross. All bugs.
You denied it that opportunity. Although, one brief rules clarification, something that I realized afterwards that Chooch actually pointed out in the moment and I missed it, is that your Wrath of the Storm is a reaction to do, which means you can only do it once per round.
Okay.
So I allowed you to use it twice in that particular turn, and I'm not retconning anything, but for the future, we'll say that your extra special fear of insects and spider-like things translated to you drawing on extra spiritual power in that critical moment in a way that you would normally not be able to do.
Rashama clearly doesn't like spider eye eaters.
So,
Okay.
where we left things was that Doke, your companion, was midway through a process of making some rudimentary repairs to the beacon when you were attacked by this spider monster. Once you had vanquished it, that's pretty much where we're picking back up. So, you guys have defeated this creature. It lays dead before you. It is clear looking at its corpse that the weird round things in its translucent belly are in fact eyeballs.
Gotta keep an eye on that one.
The reflector dish for this lighthouse-like tower is also partially broken from Nira's shatter spell.
Sorry.
And so I think what we'll go ahead and do is have Doak complete what he was in the middle of doing, which is he had used his mending cantrip to repair the crystal, replaced it in the frame, and he's going to cast light on the crystal. Having informed you already, this is not a replacement for whatever magic had originally made it go, but it may work at least partially. And as he casts light on the crystal and it begins exuding this glow, you do see that the reflector dish in the tower does catch the light and send it shooting out into the cave beyond. And it creates, you see that it glints off many other reflector dishes throughout the cave, and there is now much more light within the entirety of this cave than there had been previously. Doak looks out and looks back at you a little bit disappointed because he says, this is a lot dimmer than it usually is. But at least it's something.
Oh, you've done a great job, Doak. But, you're still learning, and this is a pretty powerful thing, so I think you did just fine.
Thanks. It'll unfortunately only last an hour. I mean, I can cast it over and over again, but it'll only last an hour, and then I would have to touch it again.
Well, that gives us an hour, nonetheless, and gives others an hour or two.
Mm-hmm. I think, Nira, as you glance out into the cave, you have a very high perception score, and you catch, way out in the distance, in the center of a big open plaza, you see a very large and complex statue that you can't quite make out the detail of from here. But what catches your eye about it is just a glint, the tiniest little glint of purple reflection in a familiar color.
Oh, man!
It was not visible when the light was off before.
Hey, guys, I think we have an issue.
Another one of those things?
Yeah. Well, what things? Depends on what thing you're referring to. If we're talking about the purple glowy thingy, then no, no.
Okay.
I will not ever talk about that.
But it's right over there. Like, you can even see it.
Just come over here and take a look at this. And I will point out the purple glowy thing.
And for sure, Alaric, you of course recognize these, the color at least.
It's another one of those breaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
so
Doak leans in and says, "Breaches? What?"
It's a thing. Is it in the direction we would have seen it coming in?
You wouldn't have been able to see it from the entrance, but it is worth noting that it was not there, or at least you didn't see it before he lit up the beacon.
Again, Doak, your friend's story keeps coming back to me. A door that needs light. I didn't think it was that kind of a door.
What?
Your friend,
well, yes, I know my friend. I'm more confused with the part where you're saying that little bit of purple light is a door somehow.
Manner of speaking, I guess. I looked into Nirakina.
So Nira looks away and is like, "Oh man, I'm just a mess. I gotta."
While this is happening, you guys suddenly feel sort of. It starts with a low rumble that just, and you feel a little bit of a tremor through your feet, through the ground. Passes in just a few seconds, though.
That can't be good.
Can I get any sense of direction?
It felt like it was all over. It was essentially an earthquake. Or, as far as you can tell.
Right.
The ground was trembling.
Well, that's new. I mean, I don't know if... No, I guess I have been there when you first uncover one of these things. Do you think this is a new one?
I don't know about new, but it's there. Have no we have no reference for this area, so
No map, yeah. You can sense it though, right? Through the piece.
If we get close enough, but I haven't felt anything while we were here.
You still don't feel anything through the fragment of the stolen moment that you have in your scar. Does not seem to be giving you any indication right now.
I get a little disoriented. Which direction is that roughly from us?
Okay, so let me bring the map back up because this is something we're working with here. But in a descriptive sense, it is further into the cave from where you are, in a big open sort of plaza with not a lot else around it. And you can see that there's a statue of something that's big and complicated, but you can't really make out the detail from this distance. And it is the whatever where you see this glint of purple light seems to be part of the. Okay, you know what? This is not the best way to bring up the map. Let me open the map in a different way. Okay. All right. This. All right. I had this all prepared the last time. But so as you guys if we're looking at this map, and a refresher for everyone else, you had initially come up the switchback path into this large plateau area, and then further up the cliff path into the cave. And right now, you are around number 6 right here is the beacon tower that you're still in the top of. And where you see the statue is at number 10 here on the map. So with all this open space here in the distance, you can see it, but as you can tell by the scale, that's about half a mile away, maybe a little less.
Which direction does the light from the tower go?
The reflector spreads it all out, and so it actually illuminates with the various other reflectors most of the interior.
But initially, is there a particular orientation for it?
I'm not sure I follow the question.
Well, the tower light goes out in one particular side of the tower and it goes off in a particular direction before hitting the reflectors? Or is it spread out from the tower itself?
The light is coming from the crystal that's in a frame. And so the reflector, it's not designed to shine outward towards where the sky is. It shines into the cave in a 180 degree.
Okay, yeah. That's what I wasn't sure of. For some reason I was thinking lighthouse, so it's got a beam that hits a reflector on a wall.
Right.
But it's inside the tower.
It is less like a flashlight and more like a lantern.
Gotcha.
And so it shines light you can basically now treat the entire interior of this cave as dimly lit, unless of course you go like inside a building where you would be obstructed from the light.
Well, I want to probably keep to the lit areas. There are all kinds of things that crawl in the darkness, and now they'll be less likely to at least come out in the dark, or come out in the light, I should say. Like maybe that guy pointing to the spider in the corner.
So I need to use some hit dice to recover some points. So I rolled 5 of my 10. So I'm up to 59 now. Just for checking purposes.
Okay. Take a break.
Yeah, I have to.
So you guys can take a short rest. And that means about an hour. Are you going to stay up there in that tower while you do that?
Probably the best place.
All right.
The thing came from the ceiling, or did it come from...
Yeah, it was hiding in the shadows of the ceiling.
All right. I'm going to make sure those shadows are illuminated a little bit.
Well, now that with the crystal lit up, there's not really any other places to hide up there. It was really only able to hide because it was dark.
So could somebody maybe kick this thing off the balcony, because it's super gross?
I think Archie would be happy to heave it over out the opening, and it kind of squishes as it hits the ground outside.
So I wonder if it has any treasures stashed up there. How far is it to the ceiling? To the rafters.
It's about 15 feet up from here. No, I take that back because it's giant scale. It would be the equivalent of 15 feet. So it would be about 25 feet. 20, even maybe higher than that. But now with all the light here, you don't really see anywhere that it would have like a stash of anything.
No loot.
Oh well.
Well, lots of eyes if you want those.
Oh God.
I think Doak is pacing back and forth a little bit. He didn't really take any damage in that fight, so he's kind of ready to go. Like, he's not saying anything about it, but you could tell he's impatient.
You're on watch, Doak. Just make sure to keep an eye out.
Okay.
Not actually keep an eye out. That was what the bug was doing.
So, you guys spend an hour recuperating. What is your plan?
Well, do we want to head to the statue, or do we want to go find our hopefully soon-to-be friend?
I mean, whatever's happened here is probably tied to that portal.
Well, agreed, but many hands make light work, right?
Just gotta convince her we're not a dream, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least not a bad dream. I haven't called a bad dream before, but it was more of a anti-romantic situation.
Well, she's large enough that she can step on things like these nasty things that we've come up against since we've been in here, which would be nice. Can always use more allies.
It's definitely true. Again, gotta turn on the charm though, because she's scared, crazy, or something. Actually, probably twisted by the thing or whatever's happened here.
So, is that you're going to go search for her, or you're going to go to the statue first?
I think looking for her is not a bad idea. It sounded what Nirkina was after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so when you 7 and 8 that direction, then.
Actually, where she ran was in the direction of 14. So you last saw her as she was on this side of this little crumbled visitor center, which was 4 here. And she ran off in this direction south from there.
Is that a train track or
it's a road.
Okay.
I mean, the road in this particular setting is actually it's like mosaic tiles, and a lot of them are really ornate, and some of them have all sorts of interesting patterns and inlays with different colors and everything.
Man, I'd love to just stand here and stare at this stuff if it weren't for the fact that nobody's around to explain it. And this is supposed to be a living city, right? Not some ancient dead relic.
And Doak says, yeah, I mean, just a few weeks ago, it was.
Look, I'm sure they've just all gone somewhere for safety. If there were more of those rust monsters and spider beasts and all the other stuff around, I'm sure they just got scared and went somewhere safe. So I'm sure that's where they all are, including Deke too. Yeah.
I'm gonna have Doak make an insight check. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, 23.
He seems too calm as you say that. He's like, yeah, we don't want to give up hope. Maybe, yeah, everything still could be fine.
It's an adventure, right? Just like all the books. I kind of lean over to near Kina. I really miss Andrew right now.
I can tell.
Yeah.
So, are you guys, as you finish your rest, then, you're heading in the direction that you last saw the giant go?
After Doak relights the beacon.
Oh, yeah, so after you finish your short rest, he does refresh his light cantrip on the beacon, so it'll go for another hour.
It's a pretty good torch. All right. Shall we?
All right. So, you guys are making your way along this Mosaic road, and in particular, it's got a really impressive area where it's all sorts of abstract shapes in surprisingly bright colors that would have been largely difficult to make out in the darkness before. But even with the dim light now, you can see that there's these big swirls and blobs of different colors inlaid with the rest of the road. But as you are making your way in that direction, you start feeling another tremor. This one is a little bit more violent, but if what this reminds you of more specifically, Alaric, is the trains in the Barrier Mountains. You know that when you are on a tunnel that's like above or near one of the trains, and the vibration that you feel when one goes by, it feels kind of like that. But as it starts to shake and get more violently, you see the ground ahead of you crack, and the stone begins to separate and then cave in, and there's a crevasse opening in front of you. And we're going to go to a map.
Oh.
Okay, that's let me. My map does not have the right setup here. Hang on. First of all, let me. So let me put your little tokens on here. And so this big crevasse is just opened up ahead of you. And you can see the various swirls and so on that I mentioned. But this crack has just opened up. Let me get Starla back on here, because...
Oh my God. I fell in one of the pits and has now been turned into one.
Yes, oh no.
I have been Picasso'd.
Yeah.
Oh, man, if we ever go to that plane.
Let's see. Let me just I'm gonna I know what to do. Okay. It's just this one that needs to be fixed. All right. Sorry, this is going to just take a moment.
I feel like I should
What is
adjust the
the-
cloak to have like sequins and something.
That is a weird, is it? Oh, I see. It's not, there we go. So I can just make it a little tiny Starla, but now, there we go, there we go, yay.
Did you drink
Okay.
a small potion this time?
So, but as you are kind of staggering back from this crevasse that has just opened up in the ground ahead of you, you start hearing the sounds of sort of strange alien squealing like sound, and then emerging from the darkness below is three creatures, one much larger than the other two, but all three feature worm-like body, octopus-like tentacles, four of them around, and a strange parrot-like beak, and they squirm out of the darkness. And we're gonna roll initiative.
Great.
Well, crap.
More bugs.
Well, at least it's like worms and snakes this time. That's better, right?
14.
Okay.
So, question for planning: how tall is the ceiling?
Hang on. Yeah, so I'm gonna because I need to account for both Doke and Otterkey here now. Just give me a second. All right. I've got to. Okay. Okay, so Archie's initiative is loading.
Oh no, he's got that look in his eyes.
Let's see, Doke gets a 12. Archie gets 13. What was yours, Alaric?
22.
All right. Okay. Now let me open. Roll for these creatures. They're Grix, is what they are. I'll just say Alaric recognizes them. They're nasty things.
Well, they come from below.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, so the big one rolls 21. And then the two smaller ones each roll 14. Okay. Alaric, you are up first.
All right. Well, they clearly are of negative intent. Let's see. So they're basically large tentacle things with beaks.
Yeah.
Do I know anything about the dangers that they possess in particular attacks or anything like that? Or just
They
the
grab
names?
onto you with their tentacles and bite you with their beaks.
All right, that'd be bad. I will run forward, actually kind of at a diagonal. So
All right.
north diagonal 1, so I'm right up to it.
Okay, which one? The big one?
The big one.
All right.
And I'm going to stab at thee
Okay.
with my short sword. This new short sword. It's getting a lot
All
of
right.
work.
Don't. Oh, who's got the dragon dagger? Does that
Doke has
Doke
it.
has that?
Yeah. Ooh, that is a total of 10.
Okay. A 10, unfortunately for you, misses.
All right. Well, I try once more. I get a 10 again. That's a remarkably terrible roll. And then I'm going to book. Let's see.
All right.
I'm going to move. So the colors are not different levels, right? They're just
No,
on-
so, yeah, I should clarify. The black is a crevasse. It's deep. You don't want to fall in there. Everything else is flat.
Okay. I'm going to move back then.
So you didn't hit with an attack, correct?
Nope. No, but I attacked.
Your fancy footwork requires that, right? But you can...
No, only it requires that I attack.
Really? Doesn't require you hit?
If you make a melee attack against a creature.
Okay, fair. All right, fancy footwork.
Fancy footwork, and basically just shouting as I pass him for a Doke to get back.
All right.
Actually, no, I'm going to go diagonal northeast
Okay.
on the screen, so the other way.
Wait, so yeah, sorry, I do it upside down for the way you guys see it.
Tell her which
way?
color you're going
I'm
towards.
going toward that yellow swirl that's there.
Okay. Like,
And one more.
okay.
I'm going to use my bonus action to dodge.
All right.
I think I can do dodge.
Okay. So it is this
No, I
first
cannot.
one.
So I will not do dodge. Just
Wait, so you're not dodging?
I can't. The
Oh.
bonus action doesn't give me that yet, so I'm just
Okay.
going to move there.
All right. So I think the big one here is coming out, and it is actually heading this way.
Good.
Let's see, 30 feet. So 5, 10, 15. And it gets actually about, I'm going to say it gets to right here. And it's going to lash out at, it's going to make 2 attacks. One with its tentacles at you, Alaric. And it has a reach of 10 feet, so it's doing it from where it is.
Yeah.
And it gets, that is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. I need to get more dice here. That's a good sign, right? Okay, and then that does 9, 13 plus, so 17 slashing damage. And because it sort of grabs you with its tentacles, it's also going to attack with its beak.
Oh,
But that one, it only gets a 13.
that is a miss.
All right. But in the meantime, it's also lashing out with its tail at Doke.
No.
That's only a 9. So Doke is able to dodge it as it goes. So that is the Grick Alpha's turn. Nira, you're up.
All right. So how tall is the ceiling?
Okay. The ceiling is hundreds of feet.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to call the lightning.
Okay.
I love that particular question.
Tap
'cause
into
I know what's
your
coming next.
tap into your mystical connection to the spirit of Mount Rashama and call the storm. Thunderclouds circle overhead, ready to dispense electrical fury to your chosen target.
All right. I am going to point at the offending Grick Alpha
All right.
and summon a bolt of lightning to strike it. Hopefully.
Okay. It makes a dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
Okay. That's gonna be +3. Oh, it gets 18.
Damn it. All right. Well, I'm also going to move towards the red. I don't know
Does it
how
take
far
half
I can
damage from.
get. Hold on.
I think it does.
A creature takes 3d10 lightning damage on a failed save. What?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it failed, it would take 3d10. Does it take half on a success?
Or half as much on a yeah.
Yeah, okay, so roll
that's right.
the damage and it'll take half.
That's the 10. And so that's a 14, so half of that is 7.
All right, it takes 7 damage.
Oh, and since I did lightning damage, doesn't that also push
Well,
it back?
the lightning is so. I'll say yeah. I mean, the lightning it's complicated because this one it's not originating from you, but I'll say yes. So, which direction are you wanting it to throw?
Oh, that's the question. I'm going to kind of. Well, it would be directly that way, so more in towards the yellow, so kind of further away from Doke. Hopefully.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah.
All right. you
And then I want to back up, I want to go away like towards where the red is.
So like this direction.
Yeah, that
Okay.
direction.
How far?
I don't need to be super close for most of the stuff that I do. Kind of between where the red and orange are, that one square right there.
All right, like that.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. It is now the Little Grick's turns, and Archie is kind of inadvertently not. He didn't mean to be, but he is blocking their path.
He's in the perfect spot. This is where he likes to be.
So they're both attacking. They're both attacking him. So that's a 10, which is going to miss even with his new rusty armor.
Oh, yeah.
And then a 17, which I think with his shield still misses. Because his AC was 20 with the shield, and then he suffered 2 points. Yeah, so he's still 18 with the shield. Okay. I think I did that right. So they both sort of lash out at him because he's blocking their path. Okay. It is his turn, so I think he's probably just gonna He's gonna attack one of them with his long sword of righteous fury. That's a 22 to hit, which hits. Yeah. Okay. And then that's going to be 1d8 plus 6. 12 damage to it, and then he's attacking it again. And that time he gets a 12, which misses. How much damage did I just say? I wanted to say 12, I think. That's what I'll say it was. Okay. So he slashes it good with one swing, but misses with the other. Okay. That was Archie's turn. It's Doke's turn. He's kind of, shaking his head from taking that tail hit.
They missed him.
You're right. You're right. Yes, but so he's startled from having had to duck out of that thing. But he's gonna say, he's gonna cast Chaos Bolt on the big one.
Ooh.
Oh, but he only rolls an 8, which is not enough. So he creates this little mystical blob of energy of undetermined type, but then as it sails into the distance, it turned out to be it turned out to be poison damage, but that is dissipated in the distance as it sails by. All right, Alaric, you are up again.
So am I grappled by it, or that was just a side effect?
No, it sort of grabbed you, but then when it missed with its beak, you were able to pull away.
Okay, I'm walking right up to it.
All right.
Do this again. Couple of sword attacks. Oh, that's cocked. Shit. Oh my god. So I got a 10 again.
Okay.
That's 3 2s.
Oh no.
There we go. That's a 25 to hit. Which I'm assuming hits.
The 25 does hit, yeah.
Cool. I don't have disadvantage. There's no other creatures within 5 feet of me, except for it.
Your rakish
And
audacity.
I get my rakish audacity. I get my sneak attack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is this a regular dagger? Which are you using?
This is the short
magic
sword.
dagger or the short sword? Okay.
Yeah. So that is kind of ridiculous. That is 21 points.
Wow.
And I rolled 2 6s on the dice, which is nice.
You do notice that it seems like it's still a solid hit, but it doesn't seem to take as much damage as you would have expected.
Okay. I'm going to move again. Let's see. I got to move to the top curve of the yellow. Or orange,
Okay.
or, yellow, I guess.
Like that.
That sounds perfect.
Okay. So, as the Grick Alpha is turning and kind of looking to follow you, you all notice something strange. A pool of it almost looks like ink at first, starts growing from underneath it. But then soon, a strange aura of darkness completely obscures the Grick Alpha. And then it goes bigger and bigger and bigger. Where's my little thing?
Damn, Grick farts.
Until it is an enormous radius. And I would say both Doke and Alaric probably I would expect them to back up as this thing expands. And you hear, as this thing emerges, a crunching and slurping sound. And we're going to go to fuzzy initiative here for a moment, because as that's happening, these 2 other Gricks attempt to retreat back into the crevasse. I think Archie will take a swing at one of them. Yeah, and he takes a swing at the same one that he had hit before and does another 10 damage to it. It's almost dead, but it's also retreating now into the crevasse. And so as this sphere of darkness that is totally impenetrable even to your dark vision emerges from the ground, You hear this crunching, slurping sound, and then you hear a voice say, "What's this? New playthings?"
Oh, that's not good.
Is that a familiar voice? I hope not. Because I
No.
don't know anybody who should talk like that.
No.
No, I guess is the answer, if it was a question.
That's a shame. You are fortunate that I have just eaten and now am more in the mood for games than feeding. But if you're not interested...
I don't know if I have a choice. Who are you?
What kind of games are you talking about?
Dark games.
Probably.
Dark games indeed.
That's what I thought.
Doke,
Sure.
can you back up from the dark expanding mass there?
He said, no problem. Back up. So you hear from within this darkness a lot of sort of sounds of movement and rustling of something very large. Much larger than the Grick Alpha. And as it sort of shifts around within that and the darkness moves a bit more, like it like shifts, you feel that the darkness moves with it. It says, "I am always in the mood for new games, and so let's play this. Give me a reason that keeping you alive will be more entertaining than killing you now."
I mean, well, you never know what trouble we're gonna get into, so it might be fun to watch. I almost got my eye eaten just a few hours ago, so you know.
The darkness moves towards you to the point where it would envelop you if you don't back up. Are you backing up?
Yep.
All right. It
following
just
you.
says, "You've visited the beacon tower then. A few of my recent traits fell victim to that creature. But I have not heard any good suggestions of games yet."
Well, unfortunately, our companion that was just fabulous with games. Like he could play the shell game like you would not believe. He is unfortunately not with us. We've played hide and seek before with a fairy dragon. It's like, why did that come out of my mouth?
So far, I am not.
Right now.
So far, I am not persuaded. Perhaps I should eat one of you and then see if that further motivates the others. But then, as it's saying that, an enormous, like a sudden moving shape flings into the area, disappears into the darkness, and you hear the voice kind of, "Ugh!" And you look, and here's where we are going to have our surprise. It might take me a moment, but let's see if I can do this.
Oh, I'm excited. Sort of. I don't know, kind of dreading it, but also excited.
I'm like, I don't have a deck of cards on me. I don't think I got any dice.
All
Sure,
right,
yeah.
so I have initiated. Oh, there we go.
Yay!
We have a
Oh
guest
my God.
player. You look and hello, and you look and you see that the shape was in fact a rock hurled by the stone giant that you were pursuing. So,
Good shot.
Granis, you have just hurled a rock at this hungry darkness thing, and just momentarily distracted it.
Quick! With me! Of course, said in giant.
Doak says,
Go.
"She said, quick with her."
Ah, come,
Well,
Ferdinand!
as we're running, I still have the lightning called, so I'm gonna take off that way and also just like strike randomly. At the
Okay, so where within this field of darkness are you asking for it to strike?
We'll go for just this middle
Okay.
as I'm running. I'm
Have
so
it
excited
make
we
its
can play
go.
with Nutty. Hello.
It makes. Wow, rolled a natural 1 for its
Whoa.
dexterity saving throw. So go ahead and roll that lightning damage for it.
Sweet. This one. Yes.
Darla, you have mustaches all over your bandana.
I do. 21.
All right. So the
Here,
yeah,
have a
so
snack.
what the thing in this darkness grunts in frustration. And here's a question: I need you to look up your feature that allows you to knock stuff back with lightning damage. Does it have a size restriction?
Hold on. Let me. To a large or smaller creature.
It is not large or smaller.
Ooh.
So it grunts in pain, but does not get knocked back. So, what are the rest of you doing? Granis the Stone Giant is over here, now going to be played by our lovely guest player, Nukchas. She is gesturing that you should go the way that she is, which is on the other side of this crevasse at the moment.
Well, I've got to say it, because I'm also me, that I never take a good opportunity for Granis. And I run.
Are you running around the edge of it, or are you going to
Yes.
try to jump it, or
No, I'm running
up-
around it.
Okay.
But I'm going to use my bonus action to double my movement.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then with the bonus action also.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So 3, 4, 5. You
So
can
dwarven
get pretty much all the way
parkour.
there. All right. Doak is looking a little bit hesitant about trying to jump this crevasse, but it's also a much longer run to go around the other side. He actually hesitates, and you see him take out a playing card out of a deck. Let me just grab this
no.
really quick. I have a deck of cards that I'm going to actually draw from here.
Those are never good. Okay. Good.
There are other magic decks other than the one you might be thinking of. But he draws Ace of Spades.
The Ace of Spades.
Yeah, and so let's see what happens there. As he takes this playing card from the deck, he flips it with his fingers off in this direction. And let's see, he can throw it. He makes something appear right here, and what is it? Emerging from the ground where he threw the card, you see purple smoke swirl around, and an undead humanoid shape, a lich, emerges from the ground, hissing at the darkness.
Oh, crap. There's another one.
You hear the voice within the darkness here say, "What?" It says, "What is this?" And then Doak's going to try to he's going to try to jump the crevasse here. And have him make. He's going to make an athletics check, which is not his jam, but he's not super weak either. So let's see. That's a straight 10. I'll say he just makes it, and it's a little ungainly looking. Oof. And then he's going to get another 10 feet. So he gets to there. What are you doing, Nira?
Oh, well, I hit it with lightning and I was going to take off.
Yeah, well, so what are you doing? You hit it with lightning?
Taking off?
Okay.
Yeah.
Running? Are you going to jump the crevasse? Are you going to run around it? What's the plan?
Yeah, it looks a little less wide, closer to where I am, so Yeah, I'll make a jump
So
for it.
from here, you used your action, so you only have 30 feet of movement. So 5, 10, 15, 20, and then make an athletics check.
Okay. Athletics is 3.
Our
that
angry
is a
bug
14.
from last time is our stand-in for the lich here. 14, yeah, you land just fine, but you're right there for your turn. Archie is also going to try to jump, but he's pretty good at
He's super strong.
athletic stuff. Yeah, no problem. He lands in a cool superhero pose and then keeps going.
3-point landing.
Yeah.
It's bad on the knees, but it looks awesome.
All right. So as all that happens, what are you doing, Granis?
Well, Grannis stops for a second, notices that the darkness reacted to the lightning.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
a really puzzled look.
It reacted to the lightning, and also now it seems to have been momentarily distracted by this sudden undead thing that has appeared.
Gets a really puzzled looks and looks at everyone and says, "Pigments or whatever you are, come with me," and starts running off.
All right. So where are you running to? Are you running to your hideout?
Yeah, that I want to get far enough away so I can bring them to the hideout.
Okay. So you are doing. If you're doing your full dash, you're running considerably.
I'm not going to
faster
do the
than-
full dash.
Okay.
I'm just doing regular movement
right.
speed.
So, as you guys are all now running, the darkness moves to envelop this appearance of Lich, and it just says, "Bah!" And you guys keep running, presumably. So, are you all just running full out, pursuing this where this giant is going?
Seems like the best option at the moment.
Yeah, I'm tempted to hit it again with the lightning because I don't want to waste it, but I should probably just run.
I believe it's your action to make the lightning hit it again, so that will basically cut your escape speed in half. But for that
Yeah,
round,
so I'm just gonna dash.
okay. So we'll say we're gonna go away from the map here because you're running off of this area, and then I think I need to move everyone around. Nearest in the right place, and then let's. Oops. Move that. There we go. Archie's there, but then let me add your picture. Okay. All right.
Ooh.
So, as you
Aren't they
guys
attractive?
are able to be sort of up close right next to Granis, it is driven home all the more that she is 18 feet tall. You guys come up to like mid-thigh on her.
No, not even.
Yeah.
So once they gather around me, and we're far enough a distance out, I'm going to pull out my wand
Okay.
and I'm going to cast the portal.
So you're a little ways away from that still. So you're not quite back at your hideout yet.
Gotcha.
And you know that you have been able to outrun this thing before, but only going full out. And you know that these little creatures are not going to be fast enough to outrun it.
Are any of them fast enough?
No.
Dang it.
Or you know that it pretty much takes everything you've got, and these things are so
Right.
small. They're going to be so slow.
I'm faster than I look.
I have my Banff cape.
So we need to get there. We need to get there fast. I normally can't outrun it unless I work really hard. So hurry up. So I'm just trying to get them to hurry.
Doke?
Okay.
And
Doak says, she says we really need to hurry.
Where are we going?
and she's pointing. She's gesturing. And she
I'm not from here.
she says in rough common, "Hurry!"
That I understood.
Yeah. So are any of you doing anything other than just running full out?
I don't have because I don't know where we're going. So I mean, Banff Cape has 500 feet of bamfing, but
Well, you seem to be running down a big kind of open street that extends, 300 or 400 feet in the same direction.
I put the short sword away and summon the dagger to my hand.
Okay.
Other than that, keep an eye
So,
out.
as you guys are running, you feel that sort of tremor again, that
Crap.
underneath your feet, and then you see ahead of you this darkness start to emerge from the ground again.
I'm like, crap.
Is there any way from the left to the right to dive
Well,
away?
it's right now. It's pretty much dead ahead of you. So I mean, you could go around it in either direction without really a preference of one way or another. I mean,
I gesture at the giant. Which way?
Grannis, that basically you're supposed to go to the end of this road and then turn right, and then you're almost there.
End of the road. Right. We're almost there. We just got to get past him.
Doc says, she says, we're almost there.
All right. Keep running.
So you're trying to run around this thing?
Yeah. So while they start making their way or try to run around, Grannis is going to stop. She's going to pick up a rock and throw it as far as she can to the darkness pool, but on the opposite side that they are.
Okay. So what are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to hit it so it, like when somebody taps you on the opposite shoulder.
Oh, okay. Make an attack roll with disadvantage because you can't see it in the darkness.
Fight in the darkness, guys. Take on the darkness.
17 and wait, is that right? Hang on one second.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And so with disadvantage, it actually worked out to be. That doesn't seem right. 17.
Okay. Unfortunately, you see your rock sail through this pool of darkness and emerge out the other side without having apparently hit anything.
Yay.
Can I
the
wave
voice
my
laughs.
wand?
Perhaps this will be entertaining after all.
Can I use the wand of wonder on it?
Yes.
Oh joy.
I'm going to do that.
Because I believe with the Wand of Wonder you can specify a point and not necessarily a creature target. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It says, and choose a target within 120 feet of you. The target can be a creature, an object, or a point in space.
So what you can do is you can say choose a point in space, at the center of it. But if you want to make it an attack roll like attacking a creature, it's at disadvantage.
I'm just going to in the center
Okay.
of it. Worked
right.
last time, so that's the right dice. Yeah. So D100, huh?
Yeah.
That's a 10.
Okay.
And that is I cast Fairy Fire.
Fairy fire.
Oh, that could be very effective.
I don't know what that does.
Fairy fire. I don't know if it cancels out magical darkness. Let's check that out. Fairy fire. Let's see. Any creature. Shed dim light in a 10-foot radius, but the darkness trumps that. So unfortunately, the fairy fire kind of, you feel the spell kind of cast and poof into the darkness, but to no visible effect. And this noise, this voice, laughs and is going to move up to you, Nira, and it's just going to make. You find yourself briefly enveloped by the darkness, and this a 25 to hit. Lashes out at you, and then you take 17 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
And so it is laughing, but are you all still just trying to run?
Is she climbing it?
No, she's not like trapped or anything. It moved up to hit her, and hit her, so she can continue to run and emerge back out of the darkness. But when you were briefly enveloped, it was total darkness, and that's pretty unaccustomed to you because you're used to having dark vision. But this was just like being blind, like your eyes were closed.
Okay, I am going to use my Banff cape to maximum range. It's 500 feet, so...
Right. But to where?
However far I can, like, past it.
Well, it's not quite 500 feet to the end of this road, but you can get, I'll say, like 350 feet away.
Okay.
And so you wrap your cape around you and then disappear into a puff of brimstone-smelling smoke and appear 350 feet down the way. And the voice says, "Ha! Fascinating."
I did tell you that, but, you know.
So everyone else is still running?
Yeah.
He says, "Well, perhaps all of you will be more interesting than I expected. But here's a gift to keep me in your thoughts while we wait to play again." And you hear a deep inhale, and then... And I need everyone except for Nira, who is too far away now, to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is it poison?
Yes, so you have advantage because you're a dwarf.
Yay.
21 good enough?
21 is good enough, yeah.
Double ones on those dice.
Wow, okay.
Ooh.
And this is something I'm actually reasonably good at.
Usually,
Usually. Well, that was scary.
I'm using a dice
So I'm
roller for
doing
this.
2s and 1s tonight, folks. Don't expect too much from me.
Okay.
Holy crap.
You got your double ones. Doak is going to roll. He's actually really good because he's got a magical item raising his constitution at the moment. So he actually gets an 18, which is a success.
His moms take care of him.
Archie. Here we go. Where is it? What was yours, Grannis? You said 21, is that right? Nutty?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you said you got 21? Is that right?
Yes. Yes, 21. I have to get
okay.
used to the name.
Yeah, Archie also succeeds. So those of you who failed are going to take 53 poison damage. Success is
down.
going to be half of that, 26. So
I'm
and Alaric is down. Okay. You guys need to deal with that for just a second. I will be right back. I need to I'll be right back.
Wow. Of all the ones that I critically fail. Holy crap.
I'm trying to think what I have. Does lesser restoration take care of poisoning?
It doesn't heal anything, though.
Well, but if you're poisoned, does it matter? Yes.
I took poison damage. I don't know if I'm actually poisoned.
Mm.
But yes, that's one of the ways to shuffle it off. Whew.
That sucked.
That was a hell of a blow.
So how much did it hit you for?
53.
Oof.
I had 52
Ouch.
because I took a hit from the thing earlier.
Wait. So you're unconscious now?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm completely down.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Was not paying attention. I was looking at spells. My bad. Okay. I don't want to use that yet.
We do have Otterkey there, as someone has pointed out, which is good.
Yeah, he can do lay on hands. because my spell slots are going away real fast.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, I haven't had that terrible roll in a long time.
What time of day is it?
It's a cave.
No, I just mean like how
I
long
think-
have you guys been going?
It's probably close to dinner time by now, I would imagine.
Yeah, because we
Where
were
they're
like
about.
6 hours travel. We left morning, then we were tooling around
All right,
for a
So
while.
we
Got a
stopped
brief
stopped for
interruption.
lunch.
Okay, so yeah, Nero, what you saw from a distance is this bubble of blackness suddenly sprays out this cone of black smoke extending 60 feet out from the center of this sphere, and you see all of your companions coughing and wheezing as they struggle to breathe in this cloud, and Alaric collapses.
Figures he's been huffing and puffing from running constantly for the last several minutes. Just
Is the darkness still there?
Yeah,
Oh crap.
and as the cloud fades, the bubble of blackness is still there.
Grab friend, come on!
You are probably the best able to grab friend.
Oh, okay. Then I pick him up. Yeah, you're
Alright.
right. So I pick up the friend and I keep running.
Okay, so you
Follow!
you scoop up Alaric's unconscious form, and you're all still running. Alaric, make a death saving throw.
all right. 15 on the die.
Okay, that's a success.
Let me know when he catches up and I can
Well, are you running to meet him or waiting for them to get to you?
well, I'm gonna keep going. She's a giant, so
Well, you also don't know where else you're going since you're now ahead of her.
okay, well I will keep moving, but hoping they catch up soon. So didn't she say go to the right?
I think
Doke did not translate that. He
Oh.
said we're almost there.
yeah.
Okay.
I think as you're running, Granis in common, Archie would probably be waving to you to just at least briefly lower Alaric down,
So I do that.
where he can. And he places his hands on Alaric, and he's going to use his lay on hands feature to give you 25 hit points back.
Start coughing under your arm.
Okay, so as you are continuing to run, you
Am I still holding him?
yeah. So I think after doing that, he kind of gestures like, "No, please keep carrying him" or whatever. But he's running on. But I
Some of
think,
the-
I run
myself.
carrying him.
I summon the dagger that I dropped back there, just so I have it.
okay. So you guys are running, and I think Granis, as you kind of look back over your shoulder, you see that the darkness is no longer pursuing at the moment. You just all hear the laughter kind of receding in the distance. I'll see you again soon. And so, as it's no longer pursuing at the moment, you guys are all free to accompany Granis, still at a run, I would guess, back to where she leads you into a giant-sized building, and what you see in there is what appears to be a wall made entirely of metal.
Put me down, woman. Put me down.
And this is the cell that you have used before, Granis.
Yes. So, still holding Alaric because I didn't understand what he said. I pull out my wand and I make an opening that seems like it's just big enough for me. And I start going through it.
Yeah, all of you see that as the giant points this wand at the wall, and an opening just appears in the solid metal wall, revealing a small, bare room beyond, where the walls and ceiling all seem to be made from metal.
I'm going to follow because the alternative sucks.
Yep. So you all follow inside, and the opening closes behind you, leaving you now briefly in the dark, but then Doak casts light on his his new dragon tooth dagger, just as something he was holding in his hand, and kind of holds it up. So you're now able to see within this narrow room, and for the moment, it seems as though perhaps you are safe.
So, Granis, she puts down Alaric and just says in rough common, safe.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Spit on the ground.
What the hell was that thing? Where the hell are we? I know any answer here.
She looks at Doak.
Sorry, I had a bit of a stressful minute here. Just let me catch up. Wait, so
Just
hello.
catch your breath.
He
Hello.
speaks to you in Giant. It just says, thank you for helping us.
You're welcome.
What was that?
That was a bad creature. I don't know exactly what it is, but it likes to taunt me and usually hurt me and so I have to hide. And this is where I hide.
So without belaboring the point, we'll say from here on, Doak is acting as translator for you guys, and we don't have to micromanage that. So let's just, accelerate the fiction and allow you guys to converse more or less normally.
As the conversation is happening, because it takes me 10 minutes, I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing. It covers 6 people, so everybody gets
It wants to torture. It wants to play.
Wants to
It
play.
wants to play bad games. And it wants to hurt. It came and everybody went away.
How long ago?
I'm not sure how much time has passed. A couple of weeks.
So this
2
thing
weeks.
has only just showed up in the last week or so.
Oh, sorry. Maybe
So
a week.
it's been a couple of weeks since everything else went down, and you were alone for a while. This thing showed up more recently.
Where is everybody else?
They left me. They went and they hid, and they think that they're waking up, but they left me. They're in the box, the vault, but
Box.
they're not doing anything.
Are they safe at least?
They think they are. They think that they're finally waking up. Because this world isn't real.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Sure. Something of that. Doak, make sure you make a round of introductions.
Yes, of course. And I think he introduces, everybody here, and he's like, and pardon me, but I'm still kind of stuck on that thing. It seemed like it was able to move through the floor, like through the stone. Are we safe here?
It can move through things sometimes it doesn't, but it can't get in here, or at least it hasn't.
What is here? What is this room?
This is safety. This is a safety cell.
Good thinking. So you don't know anything about what that thing is, or what it wants beyond amusement.
First, I was alone. Then the things that hid underground because they were scared of us started coming out. Then that thing came out. And it's mean.
Did you see a purple glow?
You
Where?
wouldn't, like, the only thing that you could think of that might refer to is part of the big statue that they left in the middle of the plaza.
Do you mean part of
had
the
a-
story?
Had a purple glowy piece of that statue.
Do you mean part of the story? The
Maybe.
we make a statue we tell a story. In the statue, there's a piece of purple. Is that what you mean?
Did it change recently? Maybe a week ago?
Well, we put it there. Or they put it there.
The
It's
others.
supposed to tell you about these things that are showing up everywhere. It's not one of those things. It's just a story.
Oh, I think she means it's a representation of the purple things that are showing up everywhere.
I don't know. You remember the Kuatoans and their stories. They were a little more than just a tale told in a book. Maybe something like that's happening here.
Well, it's happening. And that's why we tell the story.
Can you tell us the story?
Well, this... You small people that live out in the world, you don't really matter. You're very... You get upset, you fight each other, you hurt each other. We, giants, we think things out. And we take care of things. And we do things the right way. But you guys out there in the world, it doesn't matter. It's not real. But the giants, we're real. And we feel bad for you. But now that outside world it's breaking. And
Yeah.
everything around it is getting messed up. Everything out there. And soon it's going to end. So we need to wake up from this dream. Sometimes we send the giants out to take a look at the dream, to visit you people. We call them dreamwalkers. And one came back. And she said that the world is an actual dream and it's ending. And that we all need to wake up and shut out the dream world completely, or we'll be lost with it. But the problem is, even people that never really thought that the outside world was, literally fake, they believed right away. So I tried to figure it out. And I talked to her. And
The
she
Dreamwalker?
tried to trick me. She used magic to change my mind.
Talk to who? Who did you talk to?
The Dreamwalker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does the Dreamwalker have a name?
Yeah. Calcifer.
Calcifer.
I don't like her. When
Where
I
is
told-
she?
Hmm?
Where is she now?
She's with the other giants. They're all inside the vault. She told them they need to stop doing everything and they need to build this vault. And they need to wake up. And when I confronted her, when I said, "You're using magic to try to trick me," she said, "The way that I look, this means that I'm not real. That I'm one of you little people. That I'm part of the dream world. And that I can't wake up with them." And I don't want to wake up with them. I think they're wrong. I think. Maybe. I don't care if they're wrong. That wasn't nice. So they all believe. And when I went to my teachers and the people I grew up with, and I said, "She used magic to try to trick you," they said, "Oh, she told us you're part of the dream." They don't believe that I'm part of it anyway. They don't think I'm real either. So they all stopped doing everything. They sold their herds and their flocks, and they stopped working. And then they built this vault. around the dance throne. And then they all went in there. And they sealed themselves up. And they went without me. They didn't want me.
For
You
what it's
can-
worth, I think they were wrong.
Well, I went in there anyway. I don't care if they don't want me. They're not doing anything. And I know our spirit says we need to wait. We need to not do anything. We need to think and be logical. And then at the moment of action is when we make our moves. But they're literally not doing anything. They're stone. Not just stone like me. They're stones. And she is just sitting there, that dreamwalker, sitting there, watching them. And I think that she's just... I don't know if she knows what she's doing, but she believes everything she told them, even though she used magic on me. It doesn't make any sense. And then she looks down. She kind of looks away, kind of scuffs her toe. I did something.
What did you do?
I got angry. And I did something. I did what you little people do. I acted just the way they said I am. Like I'm like the little people where I get angry and just do things. Well, sometimes that happens. It's hard. And I broke it.
Broke what?
The beacon. I took the crystal and I smashed it. Because I was angry. I was angry at Kaltatha. Sure.
Well, Doak here repaired it. We don't have the power to keep it lit. Do you know how that can be done?
Did he put the reflector back too? Because I kind of messed that up. And she looks really sheepish and not looking anyone in the eye.
Don't worry.
if it-
Mirakina here also did it on it.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, there was a spider, and
She kind of stomped on it.
On the spider? Or
The room. The room, more or less.
Stomped on the room.
She's more powerful than she looks sometimes.
so I have a question. Who has the immovable stone rod right now, and where is it? Did it get
You were
dropped?
carrying it last. Sarah.
I know.
And
The
I
last
think
time
the
I
fact
remember
that
having it-
you don't remember having it makes me think that maybe it got
It's
set
with the
down.
beacon.
Probably.
I feel like you guys didn't leave there in a hurry, so I don't know that you would have forgotten it there, but maybe it was set down when you were fighting the Grix, perhaps?
That sounds about right.
Well, we don't know what they need that for. Do you know what it's needed for?
One brief, just technical note. Nutty, you are a little bit quiet. I don't know if you could be a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I can
Yeah.
bump myself up there. Is that
Not a big deal, but...
is that any better? Is
Yes.
that good? All right.
We were
I'm
hanging
also
out in the
talking
world, so-
softly because
Yeah.
she's all
Dope,
sheepish.
I think probably at one point does kind of just say, you said it was, they didn't want you because of the way you look, and, you know, please don't take offense, but I've never seen any other giant that does look like you.
Well, they don't. I'm the only one.
Side note: everybody take 15.
Damage.
Yeah, no, not damage. Undo 15 points of damage.
Your cleric is trying to kill you.
Yeah, it's that effect. Grannis, do you know what that thing we were bringing was for? A movable rod, a large cylinder that can be stuck in place. Does that ring a bell to you? Does that mean something to you?
I don't think you knew anything about that.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Some construction thing, maybe.
You mentioned Calcifa used magic on you. What kind of magic did she use?
I don't know. I just know that she tried to change my mind using magic. But I'm too strong. I'm not like the other giants.
Sounds like some kind of a charm.
You said the vault was sealed, but you got in.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it possible to get in again?
well, we have to fix the beacon.
Oh,
You can't get in without the light of the beacon.
door that needs a light. By the way, Doke, remind me to buy your friend. She's probably too young to drink. Something appropriate.
I am sure she will take you up on whatever you would like to buy her.
She's a treasure, that one. Although she might be a little more specific in the future.
Well, see, what did I tell you? You recognize what she talks about after you see it.
Yeah. Still, it kind of, yeah. Do you know how to light the beacon? How it's powered?
Well,
Yeah,
Could
I
you
think,
figure the crystal?
what were you going to say, Christiana?
I was just going to say, you wouldn't have known how the enchantment worked. I mean, you would know essentially it had a magic enchantment on it that made it light up, but you wouldn't know how to fix that.
Magic. I didn't build it.
With the light that we were able to make, is that strong enough to open the vault?
It would make the shadow wouldn't look right because the light's not the same.
Yeah, see, when we tell stories, shadows are really important. So you got to get it exactly the same brightness to make the right shadow.
You would,
Right.
you know that you would need the light to, if not be exactly the same, it would need to be much closer than it was. And also, you know that the pedestal that was by the statue itself had a reflector on it. That would need to be in place also.
Yeah. You have to fix the light magic and then the reflector.
Where's that?
I knocked it over.
Is it far? Is it hard to?
There, I didn't break it when I knocked it over, right?
Not really. I mean, the actual reflector is pretty tough, but you did shove the pedestal over, and that's a broken stone pedestal now.
I broke the stone it was on, but I didn't break it. We just got to get it the same height and same light, or move the light closer.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not a builder.
Nirikina, do you have anything that you can ask Rashama for that would be brighter than that light?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean, unless you want me to electrocute some stuff, that's. I don't
Maybe.
have. I don't have any light spells. Well, not until tomorrow. I don't.
You may have to take that chance if you need to wait and pray and ask the mountain.
Do you know about magic?
I know a bit about magic. Doke knows about magic too.
He says, "Yeah, some. I know some things, but I don't. I can make it do a little bit of light, but if that's not enough, I don't know what else I could do."
It was a good start.
I have a question. She looks away again, not looking at you. The dark creature showed up after I broke that. Do you think I made it come?
No, I don't think that was your fault.
I get the sense it's been around for a long time. Maybe held at bay, but with everything going on, who knows what actually let it slip in. You said that the statue near where this reflector is also has a piece of purple, right?
Yeah.
That might be something.
Just quick question to the DM. The statue we're talking about, is that the spirit stone, or is that just a story statue?
No, so this is the story statue that was in the Big
That's
Main
what I
Plaza that was, told the story of what the stone giants were doing, as
Right.
opposed to the spirit statue, the spirit stone, which is in the vault.
That's
with
what I
the
thought. I
throne.
just wanted to make sure. Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah. So what did you want to know about the purple?
Is it in the same statue? Is that nearby?
Is what in the same statue?
The purple. You said you use the purple as part of the story.
Yeah, well, the statue tells the story, and when the light hits it right, it tells a story of what they did. We make sure that whenever we do anything, we make sure we tell the story.
Right. What story particularly is that statue telling?
What they're doing, how they built the vault, why they built the vault. That's why it looks like those things or whatever that you think you know. You've seen the things that we're telling the story of.
Right. I'm still thinking of the Kuatoa near Akina. Adarki, you remember that they were all about a story as well. What they believed came true.
I don't think this is the same.
I don't know how to draw any other analogy out of my experience. You don't think it's one of the portals? You're not
I
feeling
think
it.
Archie kind of, flexes his hand with the scar, and it just said, "We're less than half a mile away. When we were that close to other ones, we could feel it. I don't feel it."
No, I guess not everything is a nail, even though we got some mighty hammers.
I told you the giants put it there. We made it. I mean, not me, but my people.
Right.
So the purple is just a stone, correct? Like a crystal of some sort?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the only thing that I have that might work for this is daylight. But it only lasts an hour.
That'd be long enough to get in, at least.
Why do you want to go in?
It feels like,
We solve problems.
well, there's that. But if Khalifa is there, then maybe we can gain more answers to this whole mystery.
If she's even still alive.
True. We might be able to help them wake up, too.
I don't know if she'll talk to you. I mean, you can try, but she's a zealot. She doesn't want to talk. She just sits there and watches them. She doesn't even eat.
So we would have, Doak says, we would have to fix the beacon, though, to get inside.
Yeah.
How
And
are
that
we going to
reflector,
do that
too.
with that thing out there?
Yeah, that's another question. You've been able to stay away from it, Grennis, is that right? Just by
Well-
running?
I run at top speed, and then I hop. Because if I try to fight it, it hurts me.
Yeah, it has a pretty mean punch.
He says this place is his.
It is.
He only just showed up.
Was he ever given a name?
No.
Doak says it moved through the ground, almost like a ghost or something. But you say that it doesn't seem like it can get in here?
No. And sometimes it doesn't go through the ground. Sometimes it has to go around.
Do you think it can't move through metal?
I don't know. Most of our buildings are stone.
And it sounds like it makes sense. Like it has some kind of aversion to metal.
Metal is a strong, composition.
Well, it conducts energy differently as well.
I'm gonna take a look at the wall and see if there's anything peculiar I notice about it. Is it just
It's
smooth
this is a
metal?
very blank room. It's almost like you could get the feeling that this room is designed to have like no features in it, like it's completely blank. But what Doak says is like some of my magic is kind of elemental based. I can mold earth. You saw me make the hand up in the tower, right? Like I can do that to stone and earth, but I can't do that to metal. It's different magically. So if what it's doing to move through the ground is similar, that might be why it can't get us in here.
Can it fly, Granis? Have you ever seen it fly?
You've never seen it fly. It can move over the surface of the ground and it can go underground, but you've never seen it like in the air.
It's just big and moves after you.
Yeah. Very fast.
Breathes poison gas almost like
Strong
dragons do that.
Dragons.
Green dragons do that.
I've never heard of a dragon that looked like a cloud before. Or
Me
a-
neither, but it's like if it can't move through metal, I don't think it's just darkness. It's got to have a physical form, and it uses magic maybe to move through the ground, but it's got to have substance to it, and it's hiding in the darkness.
Well, we did hit it at least twice.
And the darkness might be just magical. Can you rid it of magic?
Archie says I can dispel magic. I
Or
that's what I tried to do on Granis, but I could potentially do that. At least be able to see it.
it is safe in here, is that right, Granis?
Yeah, it's safe. You thought I was a magic spell?
Well, we weren't sure why you were afraid of us.
Well, now you know. You're not real. You're part of the dreamland, and look who's come to visit me.
So here is my thought on this.
Dope
If
just
I-
suddenly swears and says, I should have used the wand of binding on it. Sorry.
Well, we'll make sure we pull out all the tricks when we get a chance.
So here's my thought for the beacon, and I don't know how this will work. Just so you guys know what I'm thinking about this. So I can cast a spell called Daylight tomorrow. I need some time to prepare it. But I can choose an object that isn't being worn or carried, and the light will shine from the object and completely cover that object. So I was thinking I could use that on the beacon. Now, this is magical light, and it will dispel certain magical darknesses.
Well, that's handy.
But it depends on how powerful that spell is. So for mechanic purposes, it's 3rd level or lower.
You don't know the level of this stuff.
Well, okay. Well, that was more for your information. So, but
Yeah.
what I was thinking is that I'm wondering if I cast this on the beacon and it's reflected everywhere, if that would dispel the darkness from this creature. If it, like, I don't know how that would work if it's reflected like that.
Well, you know the way the spell would normally work is that it would only dispel darkness that's within that 60-foot radius created by the spell.
Mm-hmm.
But you also know that this beacon is designed to do unusual things with light, and it's unknown what effect that would have.
It may at least weaken it.
Right. So I'm saying it's a potentially a possibility, but I can't. I've never done something like that before.
We've got to find that rod. We've got to fix up the reflector, right? But if the statue itself that was holding the reflector is broken, we still got to have something up there that can hold on to this reflector, and that rod would be perfect for it.
If we got it at the right height, yeah.
You're pretty strong, Granis. You can throw things pretty well, pretty accurately too, right?
Well, I can throw things.
Hopefully pretty accurately. How about a dwarf holding on to a large, heavy rod?
You want me to throw you?
Might come to that.
Okay. Who am I throwing you at?
Well, it's more of to get in the right spot.
Do you know how tall the like about where the reflector sat?
It
Christian?
was a little higher than you, so maybe 20 feet or so is where the height of the reflector before.
Is it
She
something
puts her
that you could?
hands a little bit above her head, you know?
Okay.
Is it something that she could reach? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you won't have to throw anything.
Oh.
Just hold it up there for a moment or two.
And
Don't rule that out. The DM's taking notes.
Hey, I'm all for the crazy ideas. You know me. And if we're in a hurry, or if it sounds like fun, but if we can get the light going and if we can get the reflector going, actually, if that reflector is reflecting your daylight and the daylight has an effect on darkness, I can maybe aim it.
But that's not something that I can promise. I don't know for sure that will work.
Who knows anything for sure?
It would be completely experimental.
Yeah.
Dope
Sometimes you
says,
gotta
I
try
think
Just
it.
it sounds amazing.
Well, I think we should probably have a backup plan just in case.
Well, the backup plans are usually run like hell, and when you can't run like hell, fight like hell. I mean,
Is
that
the backup plan that I throw you?
Sure. I think that's part of it.
Grannis is a little excited by this idea.
Well, and I think Archie says, well, and also that thing was pretty tough. I mean, we might want to have a plan for it, even if we can see it.
Well, we're still going to need to find that rod again. It can't be too far away, and we need to get back to the tower. We need to get over to the reflector.
Christiana, would I have tried my little special attack on it before?
I think that I'm trying to remind myself what it can actually do.
I'll copy paste it to you.
I can look it up.
Okay. All right.
You would have tried it, and let me tell you what the result was. Let's see. You've tried it more than once. Sometimes it seemed to have no effect, but once you did make it snarl in pain and stop chasing you for a little bit.
It's not immune. You hit it with a rock. It's got to be something.
And she made it groan,
Yeah, I smacked it with some lightning.
and you didn't like that. I've made it hurt, so it didn't chase me. But I've never been able to take it on
You're
myself.
kind of in luck, though, because you may just have the entire Dream's foremost expert about setting up traps and running the hell away from things, and dragging things through traps. Granted, that didn't exactly work, but it was a lot of experience.
So you're experienced in failing.
Speaking of experience, Alaric,
Modest success.
one thing that would probably occur to you at some point while you guys hang out in this cell for a little while is that this is a pretty big room for your scale. It's probably 25 feet cubed approximately, but it is completely sealed metal. There are no openings.
Are we going to have a problem breathing? How's the air tasting right now?
Right now it seems okay, but you also haven't been in here for very long.
How long
I
have you
normally
stayed in
can
here?
last in here, what, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12?
Yeah, you can last in there long enough to get sleep for sure.
Wait.
But usually it starts feeling a little short of breath when you are ready to get up, and that's why you have to. You can't just stay in here all the time.
How did you even come in here, Granis? You did something, waved something, and a hole appeared.
I have the pass one.
Is
And
that
it lets me
specifically
in.
for here? Does that let you get anywhere else?
It might.
You know that it can only be used twice a day. So
Yes.
if you use it anywhere else, then you're in a situation where you might be able to get into here but not out.
Yeah. It might, but I save it for here.
Are there
'Cause
any
I
other
can
safe
only
places?
use it to get in and out. Hmm?
Are there any other safe places?
No. He can get everywhere. Sometimes I think he's gone and I have some time out, but then he finds me.
You know that it has never pursued you out of the cave part, but you get the sense that's not necessarily because he can't as much as he is less interested in that.
Can it
He
climb?
likes to chase me. Go ahead.
Can it climb? Do we
You've
find it?
always seen it like come out of the floor, but sometimes
Yeah.
it'll come out of walls, but not climb up the side of walls.
We might be able to find a refuge in the rooftop somewhere.
Well, we think maybe it can't travel through metal. So
How tall is it, Christiana?
The creature.
Yeah.
Well, the bubble of darkness that it makes, that you have never managed to see through or penetrate, is when the creature seems to be completely emerged from the floor, it's like 30 feet of darkness. But you get the sense that the creature itself is probably... It's shaped strangely, because you only ever feel a bit at a time, so it's not 100% clear. You get the sense that it might be a little bit long, a little bit like a worm or something, but with weird claws and stuff.
I'll
But
explain it.
as far as height, it's maybe 15 feet.
But the bubble goes like 30.
Yeah, and its shape is strange. It's not like a humanoid standing 15 feet tall.
Yeah.
Wait. Nirkina, could this be some sort of manifested spirit brought into existence by, I don't know, belief or a dream?
I don't know that I get that sense. Can I make a roll, Christiana, or something?
Amethyst is better at sort of just telling that sort of thing intuitively.
She's not here though.
You can make a religion check.
Urgent Fey business.
Religion check. I know I have I think I have a +7 on that. Religion. Yes. So that is a 21.
21. You know that something that is this powerful. It was almost unheard of for something this powerful to emerge quickly. And if it has only been in this region for less than a week, it's either brand new in existence, in which case it's very unusual for it to be so strong, or it moved from somewhere else, which is definitely not typical of spirits because they are, innate to the location in which they are made.
All right.
So
I will.
It's not impossible, but you would place odds on it being a creature rather than a spirit.
So I relate that, but with the caveat that we live in very unusual times, and
It's certainly true
I mean-
that the spirit of Sitzlebeck got powerful really fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
So not impossible, but I don't think so.
And
I mean, not elevated the same way that Sitzlebeck was with the rift nearby, but
And Granis, you know that the spirits that you are familiar with, for one, there's the stone spirit that's just primarily worshipped by your people, that its nature is unlike most other spirits in the sense that it's kind of defined by not actually doing anything.
Right.
But there are other smaller earth spirits that come around from time to time, but nothing like this new thing.
Yeah. So I don't. This doesn't seem like that.
hey, I don't know much about this stuff, so I'm bound to get a lot of that part wrong.
He also didn't seem to talk about wanting people to worship him. He just wants to torture people.
He wants a game.
He wants to eat things.
No, I think that's kind of if he doesn't get a satisfying game. Kept talking about it. I wanted a game to play. What if we could give him a game? Something he would lose. Would he play fair? I don't know, but
Do you have a game that the winner has to be all cheery and nice?
Mugen could have talked him into it.
yeah, probably.
What's a Mugen?
That's a good question.
A friend. But we are unsure of his location right now, so. I don't know that we're going to be able to bargain with this thing in any meaningful way, so I think we need to plan on trying to kill it.
All
So
right.
I have a thing I can sometimes hurt it, but not all the time.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Oh, well, I have a lot of things. It would be more helpful to know what it was, and it didn't seem to like the lightning very much.
Doak says too, well, we know that if our current working theory is that it's a creature that came from further underground and it came here because the stone giants aren't here to chase it away anymore, we know that there's at least something that it would flee from. Now, that doesn't mean we have to wake up all the stone giants like before, but that just means we know that, in theory, there's some things that it would be afraid of.
Light being the most direct, I imagine, because it's shadow.
So I think the key is going to be relighting the beacon. Now I can only hold that spell for an hour.
Well, if we haven't defeated it in an hour's worth of fighting, then we're not going to defeat it. But we'd have to time it. And we need that reflector possibly as well.
Doak
So
says,
in order
do we have
to-
any way to help against that toxic gas that it breathed out?
Normally I'm not quite as affected by stuff like that, but the running was drawing my breath.
Well, Archie would say, well, I can help protect everybody with my aura if you stay close to me. But that also means we're clustered together for other sorts of things.
Yeah. We might be able to use range to our advantage, at least for some of us. I don't think Godric has much for range, but
And he kind of holds up the sword.
yeah,
I used to have javelins.
they were effective. They were highly
He does still have the +1 longbow.
effective. Oh, okay.
And he says, I'm okay with it, but it's, it's not my best.
But if we were up on rooftops, it would give us some protection, some distance. We could surround it.
Well, that brings up my next question. If there is some place that we can go, like even just to stand there where the floor is, at least the floor is metal, then it can't come up from below us. Is there any place like that here? Aside from this box?
Is there?
No.
No.
Yeah, your people don't generally construct things with metal that can be made from stone stuff. So things like chains, locks, some things just you need metal just for the strength of it. But by and large, this cell is kind of supposed to be this special, unusual thing to kind of, it's sort of the timeout box. And it's supposed to be a little bit uncomfortable by virtue of it not being stone.
Yeah. So, I mean,
So what was the purpose of this room? Did they
Punishment.
Did they build it a long time ago? Maybe. I wonder if this was made in response to that thing a long time ago. If it got in here, if we could lead it in here, it'd be trapped. It couldn't get out. There's metal on all sides.
Maybe, but why would it go in?
Chasing someone who could get out.
Bait. Do we have any?
Granted,
Don't.
you know that it's really smart. So
I
that
don't
doesn't
think it's
mean you
gonna
couldn't trick
fall.
it, but it would take some doing.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna fall for that. I mean, it's once I kind of get to here, it keeps its distance. It stays away. It's really smart.
It taunts you through the walls sometimes.
Sometimes he yells and he says mean things through the walls. Does he seem to know my situation?
Regarding what, like, with
Like,
the
does
other-
he include in his taunts the fact that I'm not a real, like, saying like I'm not a real stone giant, or they don't want me?
He is aware that for some reason all of the other stone giants went somewhere else and you're the only one left here, so he can conclude there's something weird about you and you're all alone, and that's obviously a sore spot. So he pokes at it, but you don't get the feeling that he has any deeper knowledge of what happened.
But he doesn't know like who else is in the vault or anything else
No,
like that.
he has spoken about knowing that the other stone giants are in there.
Okay.
So one other thing that I have Sleet Storm, that it will essentially cover the ground in ice. And I don't know if that would block him from going back into the stone or not. So there's another possibility there.
Or if he could be held.
Well, and
That-
Doak holds up and he says, the wand of binding here is, I mean, that's big enough. I would have to it normally has 7 charges, and you can do hold person with 2 charges, but there's no way that thing would work for a hold person. But it can do hold monster with 5 charges, which means we could try it once. If it doesn't work, then we're out of luck.
Our first problem is we can't stay here for long. There's not enough air in here, one way or the other.
We can stay long enough to rest, so pick your spells, and then we can rest.
If you said you only can stay here for a day, there's 5
I can
more
s-
of us.
I can,
4 more of
well,
us.
I have a lot more oxygen than you do. You need a lot less, but we can stay here long enough to rest. So we should start.
You also know that usually, even when this creature seems extra bored and hangs out outside the cell for a while to leer at you, eventually it gets tired of just waiting around because that's boring.
Yeah.
And
He'll get
so
bored.
It usually does not hang out just outside for a long time.
Yeah.
It'll wander off somewhere else.
Nirakina, since I think of all of us, you need the least sleep. You'd be our sentinel to make sure we can still breathe.
I could do that.
Might be able to get an actual night's sleep here, but I have nothing I can prepare for the morning. Nothing is coming to me. Maybe sleep will do it. I know that you and Doak have things you need to do in the morning to prepare.
Doak says, I don't know what you're talking about, prepare spells. I mean, I learn the spells I learn and then I know them. I don't pick them from like a shopping list.
I didn't know. I've not met too many people that can do magic. Mine's different.
I'm also actually just right now looking at Otterkey's spells. He can also cast daylight. So it
So
might
maybe
not be a
both
terrible idea
having
for
it.
him to also have the spell.
Oh, absolutely. That might be a combat necessity as well as maybe 2 people using daylight. I don't know if it doubles.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know that it's stackable.
Right, but I mean, just the ability, if one of you loses, if you just, it does, if it seems like it's going to be a useful spell, it doesn't hurt to have more than one person who could do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Fortunately, it's not concentration. And then Archie, I think at this point kind of just says, oh, I can cast protection from poison.
That's nice.
I discovered I do have that too, but I can only do that so many times, and it wouldn't be enough to cover all of us.
It's a 2nd level spell, but if Archie can do it too.
Does that require concentration?
No.
Good.
It lasts an hour. If you touch a creature, if it is poisoned, you neutralize the poison. If more than one poison affects, you neutralize the one or one at random. But for the duration, the target has advantage on saving throws against being poisoned and resistance to poison damage. And I think Doak says, I'll take one of those if it's on offer.
I like that.
How long does it
How
last?
many times
1
you
hour.
try to poison me?
And one casting of a 2nd level spell is for one target.
Right.
And
those
I
are
only have 3, so that would take away my access. If I did all 3, it would take away Shatter, Gust of Wind, Prayer of Healing, Lesser Restoration. Like, it would take
Gust of
all
Wind
of those.
might also be effective against.
Yeah.
the cloud.
Why would it take all of those?
Well, I only have 3 2nd level spell slots.
Oh, okay.
Or spells that I can do. So, like, anything else, I couldn't. I'd
Now,
have to cast.
you know,
I could cast it at a
just-
higher level,
just
I
as
guess.
a note, yeah. I mean, first of all, you could, if you wanted, prepare all 1st level spells, or all 2nd level spells, or all 3rd level spells. Your slots are the same, but as far as your list of prepared spells doesn't have to be restricted to level.
Okay.
So if you wanted, you could prepare all 3rd level spells, but that would perhaps mean that you're unable to cast any of them once you're out of 3rd level
Yeah.
spell slots, right? Or if you wanted, if you had lots of 1st level spells you wanted to cast, you could prepare all 1st level spells, and many of those can be cast using a higher level spell slot. Just in case there was some confusion about how preparing the spells and thinking that you can only have a certain number of 2nd level spells, for example.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just what I usually default to
Sure.
when I am.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to
preparing
make sure there
stuff, so.
wasn't confusion about the rules.
Yeah.
Is that right, though? You only have 3 2nd level spell slots?
Yeah, I have 4 level 1, 3 for level 2, 3, and 4, and 2 for level 5.
Okay. I was just looking at Archie's. And he has also 3 for level 2. Okay, yeah, so Archie, remind me, Nutty, was it still a 9:45 cutoff that you
Yep.
needed? Okay, so we're actually approaching that. So I think that what we can say is, as you guys have finished having this whole conversation, I'd say it is getting into early evening. And so if the plan is that you want to try to get a long rest here with Nira making sure that you guys don't run out of air, what we can do is we can go ahead and call it for tonight, and the idea is you guys can work on your additional plans to decide if you think of anything else, or if you to plan out which spells you want. The plan also is that Nutty will return next week to
Yay!
So, yeah, maybe we go ahead and just call it there for tonight. But thank you for joining us, Nutty.
Yes.
You did great
Thank you for
telling
having
that
me.
story.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and thank you to everyone in the chat for watching live. It's so much fun. So Thanks everybody. And we'll be back next week on for more
So
adventure on
many
so
levels.
many levels. Hopefully, Fusion is back. Yay! Hopefully, fingers crossed. All right.